This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir, it is Thursday. We are here in our beautiful spot where we've been many, many years. And we are here at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir, the Red Hot Poker Room. It is packed. It's ready to go. The TVs are everywhere, so you get to enjoy the games, the races around the country, all that good stuff. So you get to wager. And we will have some fun here over the next couple of hours, talk about all kinds of things going on in sports, life. First of all, I hope all of you out in the West Coast and Central Florida, also, obviously, too, are, hanging in there after a rough one yesterday with Milton going through and causing a lot of damage and a lot of flooding and rain. We got lucky down here in South Florida. I know that there was a couple of tornadoes up north, like in Wellington. There was a badass tornado up there, and Pines too, right? There was a couple, but that was it. It was like our storm
was the four touchdowns we had.
Right, our storm actually was that was the moment. That was it.
Yeah, those that were in the tornado areas. That was it.
That was it. That was the only thing we got, and obviously a couple people obviously suffered some damage. No deaths or any injuries, so that's good at least. But that was our storm. That was our Milton. That was it right there. Those tornadoes that touched down, because we really didn't get rain, and there was some wind and all that. At least I can only speak for Dade County. We got a big break, obviously. You know what I mean? So we have nothing to complain about. I don't think Broward has much to complain about, or even Palm Beach. It's more our friends up north, more in Central Florida, and obviously in the West Coast, who have been just absolutely battered now with two storms in a row, and the damage is just brutal. The guy on the sailboat survived. You saw that? Captain something. What's his name?
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. That's it.
Yeah, from Forrest Gump.
So they offered him $100,000 boat now, and and then
that same guy also offered somebody $70,000 to sit through the storm with an umbrella and ramen noodles, and then went back on it.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay,
it's a YouTube thing.
Okay,
get those clicks, get those views.
Right. Yeah. They do that a lot. Okay, so apparently, I that's what I read, that they were going to give him a boat and all that, and then some guy, some idiot there, Ross or something, was going to give him some deal there or something. But anyway, so hopefully he gets something out of it, because he's a crazy sumbitch. That's for damn sure that he did that last night. I mean, that you're not in your right mind when you want to stand like right in the middle of a Cat 3, Cat 4 storm bearing down on your ass. Yeah, for Helene. All right. Well, he probably doesn't have much to live for. So he's what the hell? He's got a death wish, and he carries it out all the time. But hey, you might want to hang around that guy. I'm just saying.
Hanging around with him or being a first responder inside Tropicana Stadium.
Oh yeah. Cheap outfit with a cheap stadium. It falls apart, and it was really, the Rays are the perfect team to have their stadium fall apart, because they're a disaster and a cheap ass organization as it is. And so when you see their stadium fall apart, you kind of say, yeah, well, that's, you bunch of cheapos. I mean, that place is trash. If you've ever been to that is one of the worst domes that was ever built in the history of time. And again, they built it so long ago for the White Sox. The White Sox. They built it with the intentions, because the White Sox were having issues then, and that they were going to try to lure. They didn't have a shot at it. They just thought, well, if we build it, then maybe we can actually steal it. That kind of stuff. There was like no promise in place or anything unlike, let's say, the Cleveland Indians. They had a promise in place here, right? You remember what it was? Homestead Motor Speedway. There's a baseball stadium there. And that baseball stadium was being built right during Andrew. And if it was just done like right before Andrew, Andrew comes and tears it up, and the Indians were going to make that their spring training home. And guess who backed out of that commitment after Andrew? The Cleveland Indians. So, that kind of stuff happens. Anyway, I just hope that all of you out there in the West Coast that you didn't do what Lieutenant Dan did and keep your crazy ass on a boat and you heed the warnings and you got inland and you were staying safe. I checked with some of the people that I know in Tampa. Everybody's safe. They suffer a little damage, but no real damage. I know my man Ocala Joe also didn't have any real serious damage, little stuff. So he's all right. So all good in the hood, as they say.
The Tampa Bay Times building. You saw that?
Oh, well,
that's the building the crane fell into.
Oh, okay.
And then it busted pipes. So now not only the hurricane was getting through the building because of the thing, but then also the pipes were draining out as well. So it's going to be a while before that gets taken care of as well.
Okay. All right. Well, Tampa Bay Times, I mean, they don't really run the printer there anymore. Everybody's really off all at their houses. And so, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Those kind of businesses don't even need buildings anymore. Oh, man. So anyway, I just hope everybody is fine and nobody suffered any serious and catastrophic damage or loss of life or any kind of serious injuries. That's all that matters. And living in Florida, man, it's hurricane roulette. It's not even Russian roulette. It's hurricane roulette. And you live in the Panhandle. You live in Central Florida. You live in South Florida. We're all going to get hit, man. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when. And it's just one of those things. And none of us can escape from it. Not if you're in Pensacola. Not if you're in Jacksonville. Not if you're in Tampa or Orlando. Not if you're in Miami. Not if you're in Key West, obviously. You're not getting away with it wherever you're at in Florida. You're going to feel it, and it's going to affect us, and it's just a matter of what year it is, right? That's all it is. And it's just a spin of the chamber, and we just don't know what part of Florida is going to get hit, and Alabama, and Louisiana, and Mississippi, and Texas. They all feel the same way. It's just that's the light. And the Carolinas, by the way. Carolinas are, they suffer a lot of stuff like us off the coast. And now, even on the western part of Carolina now, you're not even safe anymore, which was considered a haven for climate change. Western Carolina was considered a haven because you're elevated, so you have cooler temperatures constantly. Because you're elevated, well, you don't feel like you should get the floods. Right. And also in Western Carolina and that area, you don't really get hurricanes normally. You don't get tornadoes. There's no earthquakes. It was considered, that area of the country was considered kind of a climate safe haven in a way until Helene. And then all of a sudden everything changed. And it's just, it's sad that none of us are safe. And all of us have to be protected. And none of their homes in that area are built for storms. That's the other thing, because it doesn't require it to be built. I wonder if those things are going to change. I wonder if you'll get grandfathered in for what you have. But if you're building a new home because of what happened.
No, that's going to happen. But the problem now is that you still have homes from the 20, like even where they were at, I think, watching the Weather Channel a little bit. I think it was Siesta Key area or somewhere around there, somewhere in Tampa. The area they were in, the homes were older from the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
So they were worried because they were like, they don't know how they were built because they haven't been built in during this whole thing. And then now, but yeah, as they reconstruct, they have to,
of course,
do whatever the building codes are. But now the problem is how many of those homes are still from
you have
20s and 30s.
Well, you're gonna have to grandfather.
Yeah, no, you have to. You can't make them rebuild
but the insurance is going to be a pain in the ass for them because now the possibility the insurance is going to cover
most
their
of those
asses.
homes are probably already paying flood and everything else because most of them are near.
Most of them did.
Most
Most of them did not
home.
have flood.
Well, no, but they should if they're near to the coast. I would have flood.
No, I'm talking about the Western Carolina.
Oh, Western Carolina. No, yeah.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about the coast
down here in Florida. Yeah,
no, I'm talking about the Western Carolina.
In the Western Carolinas, they didn't think they needed to have it. So
that's my point. That now they're going to raise the building codes because of the possibility exists. And and they'll grandfather the houses that are already still there, already built. But the new homes, they're going to have to, dude. And the insurance companies are going to end up charging more because of the possibilities now.
So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out there. What they might end up doing is actually, because again, when you go up in the mountains, you have like creeks and everything that once they get, filled up, they go out, but then they also go down.
Yeah.
Which builds even, that's the danger is once it comes down the mountain, there's nothing to stop it.
We're all learning now. Don't live downstream of a dam. Don't live near a dam. Don't live downstream from a dam, right? Like if you're moving now and you're trying to find a new home, okay, you got to think about climate change. And then all these dams are all old. They've been around forever. And we've watched them now all crumble every time there's a major event, right? So you got to make sure also strategically where you live nowadays that you're not susceptible to any kind of dam breaking, then you're downstream from it and you're screwed. All of these things you have to think about nowadays, man. And when you're already in that spot, now it's too late, you know what I mean? But for everyone else, as you plan, you start thinking about climate, you start thinking about these kind of man-made things that can actually completely affect your life. Scary shit, man. Scary shit. Luckily in Florida, we don't have to deal with that. We have no mountains. We have no dams. We have nothing like that. So that it's just straight up flooding that we would have to deal with because we're obviously low level, sea level. So yeah, that's about it. But man, rough stuff. So I just hope everybody's fine out there, and I hope you were able to get through it and healthy and safe. But times are changing, and the way we think and the way we approach all this kind of stuff has to change too. Stuff you never had to think about, now you have to think about constantly.
And then also this storm too it wasn't necessarily all of the rain and everything, but the storm surge. Like that's the one thing that is like and now it was storm surge in Fort Myers and Naples, which was hundreds of miles away from where the storm hit, got most of the biggest storm surge.
Yeah.
It's not just now, we're in the path, we're in the eye.
Because it whipped around.
Yeah, it's crazy at this point.
It brought all that. Yeah.
You never know anymore.
And they were showing how the ocean was getting sucked up and away from the land, and then wham, it comes back, and it's vicious, bro. Mother Nature can be a bitch. Jamie Zoria in the house in San Jose. Oscar Rojas. They're all smashing it. Don't forget to smash the hell out of that like button. Let's go. Thank you, Oscar. Dougie Fresh. In this time of aggressively hot wind, a force that nobody wants to endure, let us take a lesson from listening to the Plastic Ono Band and press pause, then delete. One-Eyed Jack, good afternoon, Big O and Sean. Hope everybody's well. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Ray. Ocala Joe, thanks for being a good distraction for the crazy stress of our everyday lives and the information and humor. Much appreciated. Cleaning up here after the storm. Good to know you can clean up, and that's a healthy thing. Stetson O, what do you got going on there? Okay. Right, driving through a storm. Oh, the gator biting the car. Nice. Wow, somebody, a truck driving through, a truck driving through the storm, and a gator comes out of the water to bite the truck. That's, okay. Alexis Palenzuela, think Blue Dodgers. Your Dodgers pounded the Padres yesterday. Dennis Akers is in Melbourne and all good. Some down trees, a dirty boat, but all is safe. A little crazy last night into the morning. Well, you were a little bit more north than we were, so you got more of the wicked stuff than we did. We didn't get anything. We're good, bro. We didn't get anything. Ray Rodriguez got lots of rain here in Orlando and Kissimmee. Just got power back on. Oh, good, because there's lots of people without power. Brett Dodger is in the house. Hoping everybody is well out there. Caroon, Tampa, Clearwater, Sarasota is just a mess. It sucks. Definitely. Skylar Tipton is in the house. Giovanni smashing it. Vivinetti is in. He's got no power in Venice, but they made it through, which is what counts. Let's see. A few tornadoes in Broward and Palm Beach, but outside of that, we were spared. Yes, we were, Ray. Very lucky. Brian Landis, Anthony Campos, Aquavision, Gus. Let's see. What else? Jimmy Zurich says, dude, we always had to think about where to live. Man-made things, I like it. Man-made things, I like it. Oh, we never had to think about those things. You never really had to think about, this area is downstream from this dam, and I got to worry about this dam breaking. Now you got to worry about that. Now you got to think about that. You definitely have to think about that. Those are things that have to be take into account. It's not just, hey, I'm moving to Utah. Oh, it's going to snow a lot. Yeah, no, we know that. Hey, I'm moving to South Florida. It's going to be hot. Yeah, we know that. You know what I mean? You're going to go to Los Angeles. Yeah, it's probably going to be a little smog out there. Yeah, we know that. But, then there's other things you have to start thinking about. And you never had to think about, I live off of a dam and it might break. It might bust. That's not something we really thought about now, That's kind of scary. So, it's it has kind of changed. Let's see what else. Big O, I think we get older, we get more afraid. No, you get wiser. You see everything else going on. You've learned from your mistakes. You've learned from other folks' mistakes and experiences, and you grow from that. That's what you do. You take in more information, and then you assess it. And you say, I like Mike McDaniel, dude. Yeah, he's got a fresh approach to it. He's got a bright mind. And then you assess the information. You go, he's got a bright mind, but he doesn't know how to use it. Yeah, he knows offense, but he doesn't know how to call a game. Yeah, he's great for players and the relationship, but he's not really maximizing them. Yeah, he reaches players, but they have no discipline. And so then as time goes on, you gain more information. You say, I like what I saw from Mike early on, but now as time goes on, I have assessed and I've gathered more information. He's not that good. And that's how it is in life. It's the same thing. Years when I bought my house, you know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about living by a dam or anything like that. 20 years ago. Not that it matters here, but what I'm saying is somebody that now lives right downstream from a dam that busted and their house got walloped, I think they're going to think about those things. It's not something you ever really thought of because you never really expected dams to break. You expect them to hold. It's kind of what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to fail. They're supposed to be made not to fail. The Golden Gate Bridge is made to last for a couple hundred years. And that's kind of what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? So you built it to last, not to fail. And, as time goes on, you assess and you gather information. That's all. It's the best thing you do. Shake hands with a whole bunch of people and then touch your face. Is that a good idea? Now, you learn over time that you shook hands with a whole bunch. Maybe you should wash your hands because a couple of those people may have a cold or something. And then you touch your face and now you've got the germs and there it goes, right? Over time, kids, they'll touch everything and they do all kinds of disgusting stuff that you would never do. But as you get older, you assess, you learn, you grow, and you use that information. It's not that you get scared. It's just that you learn. That's all. Nothing wrong with putting on the seatbelt after you watch many people get catapulted through windshields, correct? You're not scared. You're going to get in the car. You're going to drive anyways, but you're going to put the seatbelt on just in case so you don't become a flying object. That's life, my friend. And if you don't evolve with life and you don't learn from it, then, you know, it's kind of bad for you. Got to do that. Big O and Sean, did you see that McDonald's came up with a new chicken Big Mac? I did not see that. Oh, yeah? Is it out already? Well, what is it, like 2 little skinny chicken patties? The meat, they put the chicken with the sauce and everything. Okay. Chicken Mac? The chicken Big Mac, it's called? Okay. They should have called it the Big Chicken Mac. The Big McChicken. There you go. There, McDonald's. Hire them. Yeah. Weak, McDonald's. Weak. I thought of a better one. He thought of the best one. What's wrong with you people? Anyway, George Grass is smashing the like button. Without two of the Dolphins are literally unwatchable. That's a team. That's not a team worth a damn. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I'm also happy Lieutenant Dan made it through. Yes, I think we all are. Crazy bastard. Dave says prayers to all affected by this tragedy. Recovery is not about politics. It's about humanity. Amen. I don't know. I'm not getting has nothing to do with politics. Pat in Nashville, been busy lately. Did I miss anything? There he is. Wow. You've got enough. You can watch the show now. Holy shit. Welcome back, Pat. Welcome back. Damn. Prayers. Good to have you back. Man, that's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff what's been happening all over the place. You know? It just is. It is a wacky time as it changes. By the way, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Let's talk about the great Alan Blanco. If your company needs custom printing and embroidery, please call them. They're here in South Florida, here in Hialeah. You can reach out to them at 786-618-1443. And you can do all of it by phone, Zoom, all of that. Send them your logos, all that kind of stuff. And they can get your uniforms or shirts or hats or whatever it is you need for your company, custom printing and embroidery. Please call 3A Graphics, 786-618-1443. MLB playoffs yesterday. Detroit defeats Cleveland 3-0. They take a 2-1 lead in their best of 5 series. The Mets, they beat the Phillies 3-1. They win the series. They win 4-1. They win the series 3-1. The Junkies, they edge Kansas City 3-2. Junkies lead the series 2-1. Dodgers pound the San Diego Padres 8-0, and it is tied 2-2. So we go to a final game 5. All right, and that is tomorrow night, by the way. Tonight, Guardians and Tigers at 6:08, Yankees and Royals at 8:08. Cole and Waka on the mound there. 8 o'clock, the WNBA Finals take place. Game 1, I got to make up for the loss the other night. I'm going to make up for it this way. I'm going to go with the Lynx tonight plus 6.5. The Lynx went 2-1 against New York this year. The Liberty and UNESCO, they are motivated, and I would favor them in the WNBA Finals. But the Lynx, they don't have their number, but they are really good, and they can give the Liberty trouble. I am taking the 6.5 points that even if the Liberty lose tonight, they're not going to get routed. So I'm going to go Lynx plus 6.5, even though they only get a night off and they're back in action. Dolphins, Canes, and Inter Miami, by the way, are all off this weekend. And then tonight, game 2 of the regular season for the Panthers. They are 1-0. They take on the Senators. And they, by the way, the Senators, this is their first game of the season. They're opening up the year. So Panthers on the road, taking on the Senators. Ottawa, by the way, was the 3rd worst team in the conference last year. So let's go 2-0, Florida Panthers. Let's go. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Let's see. Jack says, Big O always knows. Don't ever question Big O. There you go. Unless I tell you, hey, you want a hot dog too? And we're in the drive-in of a Dairy Queen in the Panhandle. Okay. He says he'll take it. I mean, that's the moment.
I ain't scared. Who got the 2 hot dogs during halftime?
Yeah, but they weren't from a Dairy Queen in the Panhandle.
Dude, Dairy Queen chili and cheese dogs. Give them to me.
That was a mistake.
Let's roll.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But if I do tell you that, that's where you got to pause and say, you don't know. Just, it's just a little tip from me on that one. It wasn't a good idea. God, the drive was bad. Holy moly. I don't know how I didn't explode in the car. Seriously. Amazing stories of people helping each other in Western North Carolina, says Pat. Radio station sent out a call for a welfare check on the road I was driving. I got to the people. They were okay. At least 25 vehicles pulled up after me, checking on them. Amazing people here. There you go. Yeah, man, people do come together. Yeah, we got good people. There's a lot of good people in our country. It's just the bad people are loud. They're loud and obnoxious and all that kind of stuff. And so it's what I tell you about restaurants, right? We never take the time to tell the waiter, hey, by the way, can you tell the chef, this is the best soup I've ever had. This lobster was amazing. This steak was perfect. Now, if the food gets there cold or not undercooked or there's a hair or what, they're going to hear from you, right? And they're going to hear really loud. But we don't really take the time to compliment people, And why? Because complaining stands out, And good people, I don't know. I guess it's just we kind of, they go under the radar. That's why we don't see them as much. But then the bad people are the ones that stand out, and they're the idiots that we see on social media doing stupid shit and loud shit and crap and all that, and hurtful stuff and hateful stuff. And those are the people that get the headlines. But they're not really the majority. I don't believe that. I believe there's more good people out there. It's just those people are loud and obnoxious. That's all. They kind of stand out. Josh is in the house. Frankie, you are correct. You should blame Tua for the bad people, for hurricanes, all those kind of things. Blame Tua. That is what you should do. It's always his fault. Big O, may I suggest not complimenting the Dairy Queen chefs in the Panhandle? Okay, you are correct. You are correct. There will be no compliments from me for those damn Dairy Queen Panhandle hot dogs. That was rough, bro. That was really stupid on my part, but that was rough. They're having fun here. This is a lively lively second floor. I got to tell you. There you go. Always Hialeah Park. You're going to love it. Lively bunch. They win. They spin the wheel. They got the games going on. The ladies are serving them food, drinks, all kinds of stuff. It's like they if you want like food, that like they'll bring up like this little tray next to you, and it's got like your own little private table, and it's pretty cool. It's really cool, and no smoking, by the way. So they do have the smoking hot slots outside. So they have an area of slots under roof and everything. You're overlooking the track. It's actually really cool. But then they've got all kinds of fans and ventilation going on, so you can take your vape, your cigar, your cigarette, and enjoy it. And if you're a smoker here in the poker room, they've got a beautiful second floor balcony, enormous balcony that you can walk it and everything, and get your cigarette break, and they'll let you take a break or whatever, but not inside. And so that's actually pretty cool. It's smoke free, so you're not in a table where people are blowing smoke in your face. Personally, for me, like I like cigars, okay, but I hate cigarettes. So I personally, they bother the shit out of me. So if I'm sitting like in Vegas and they're smoking, I probably won't even sit at that table. I'll try to find one that doesn't have it or something like that, or has no smokers at the moment or something like that, and then I'll sit in there because it actually bothers the shit out of me, cigarette smoke. So it's actually a cool thing that they do here, that it's a non-smoking casino, but they have smoking areas for the slots, and then for the poker players and all the other different cards players, they can take a break out there. I'm watching two people walk out the balcony right now and enjoy their smoke. And remember, we've got watch parties here for the Canes, watch party here for the Dolphins every week. Obviously, this weekend, none of that is going on. But we've got the $100 no regret first bet. So you can use the QR code there, or go to the Hialeah Park website. And remember, if you already have a Hard Rock account, because this is partnered with the Hard Rock, use a different phone number or different email than you would with the Hard Rock. So that way you can get the $100 no regret first bet. So you make your bet, you get your $100, and you're off and running. Okay. And I'm going with the Lynx plus 6.5 tonight. Okay. That's what I'm doing. Lynx plus 6.5. I need to make up for my bad call the other night in that final game there on the conference side, on the Eastern Conference side. By the way, there's this show I watch on Swan, and a guy named Hurley, and I like him and I trust him. He saw the Bitcoin movie that they put out on HBO, and apparently it's a load of shit. Yeah, apparently Hurley, and so he saved me an hour and a half of watching, because apparently it's so bogus. He goes, anybody that really follows Bitcoin will laugh at all of this. It's all conjecture. It's all BS. No, there's no proof, no nothing. And even the guy that they think is the guy is, kind of making a joke of it and everything. So it's kind of it's kind of interesting that, HBO, you kind of get exposed for putting out some phony ass crap. So apparently, just in case, but again, most people don't know anything about Bitcoin. So they're going to get away with this. And people that don't know will use that as some kind of a reference point. So that's the sad part. But just in case, to save you, word is it's bad. So I'm not even going to waste my time. I don't really need to, if Satoshi Nakamoto wants to make himself, known to the world, he'll do it. He already created a currency that is going to change our world. And nobody can figure it out as it is. So think about it. If he wanted to be found, he probably could be found. But apparently he doesn't want to be found, and I don't think you're going to be able to find him. That's just the way it is. But whatever, I guess people are so crazed to try to find out who Satoshi Nakamoto is and all that crap, and it's just it's kind of silly. It really is. I did an indoor air study in bingo halls that showed that electrostatic cleaners were, along with obvious ventilation, the most effective way of cleaning the polluted air from cigarette smoke. Okay. All right. All I do is not hang around cigarette smoke. That's all. That's what I try to do. That's my best way. Oh, you're smoking a cigarette? Yeah, well, I'm leaving. You're smoking? Yeah, not in my car. That's kind of the way I do it. I just avoid it, period. Cigarette smoke for me is really, really obnoxious. Really obnoxious. So the Jets finally, remember I gave you the 3 different things that were floating around, right? And apparently the Nathaniel Hackett thing, there was some truth there because they just took away his power. He is no longer the offensive coordinator, so he's not calling the play. He's not calling the plays. Todd Downing, the passing coordinator, is now going to be the play caller, and apparently Aaron Rodgers doesn't have an issue with this. So then it wasn't about Salah taking the power away from this guy. That's not it. So what else was it then? Was it Aaron Rodgers? Because if Aaron Rodgers can't stop you from taking his boy off of OC, can you stop him from firing the coach? Probably not, right? So you're not really, so Rodgers didn't fire the coach is what I'm saying. Even if he didn't like him, maybe Woody's the one that fired him.
Yeah. I heard another story.
What's the other one?
That, remember Woody Johnson was the ambassador to the UK?
Yeah, and the brother hired
Well, he was watching the game with all his boys from the UK, talking a bunch of talk, and then his team got schooled in the game, and he was upset. And all I know is
because the brother hired Salah.
Yeah.
Not him.
And
so that's what I'm saying. Maybe
Aaron Rodgers was on Pat McAfee and said Woody Johnson called him, and they had a discussion, but it wasn't about that. And then it came out that Salah was let go.
Right.
So
maybe the discussion was, "Hey, I'm not happy with Hackett and what he's doing with you. I don't want him to be." And maybe he told them that ahead of time.
Yeah. Maybe.
So it looks like maybe Rodgers didn't fire him.
No, maybe Woody Johnson becoming Jerry Jones.
And Woody Johnson, there's that one other really wild one too.
Yes.
Of the Lebanese flag.
Yeah.
So Woody Johnson's already pissed off at you. Yeah. He's Jewish.
Yeah.
And you're wearing the Lebanese flag, and these people are taking on.
Now, here's my question.
And again, it's not the Lebanese people. It's just that they were taken over by Hezbollah.
Did Salah see the writing on the wall and was like, I'm going to force my way out?
I don't know.
I'm out of here. I'm leaving.
I don't know. But he's getting paid a lot of money, so good for him. Good for him. By the way, Todd Downing, for you Jets fans, in 21 and 22, when he was the Tennessee offensive coordinator, they were 26th in points and 26th in points and 29th in yards. As the Jets squirm. Yeah. Ready to go. That's it. So, who knows? I tell you. Interesting. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of deportes? You know what? Before I get to deportes, we've got a nice sweet dip going on in Bitcoin right now. And the markets are hurting a little bit. Bitcoin is a dipping. So why don't we do this? Let's talk a little crypto real quick here. I got some really, really good stuff, and it really helps a lot of you out there. Let's do our Crypto Bro Show.
The
Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzagari and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to lose.
Time to log into the blockchain and find out what's the latest in Bitcoin and crypto in our Crypto Bro Show.
Crypto Bros. This segment brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Take your home or business to the next level with RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Call Ray or Mike at 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their fantastic work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. Crypto Bros. Here's the Crypto Bro himself, Orlando Alzugari.
Thank you. All right, a little Crypto Bro Show. Let's get to it here. Our 7th episode, so please catch up with the other ones if you have not seen it, so you can kind of start piecing everything together. You guys constantly ask me about how do I learn about crypto and all that. Are you going to bring the crypto show back? Well, we really hadn't done it in full go. This is the first time we've actually done 7 straight episodes on a daily basis throughout the week. And I might add stuff over the weekends. If things really, now when we start turning here, we're going to have green weekends, and we'll probably have to get into it and start getting into some of the altcoins that I like. I'll tell you the ones that I'm invested in. I'll tell you the ones that I do like that I'm not invested in. I'll tell you the ones that I don't like that I'm not invested in, and those kind of things. The market, by the way, today, the Dow is down 117 points. The S&P is down about 17.5 points. The NASDAQ is down almost a complete point. In crypto, Bitcoin right now is in the 59 range. It's at 59,606. It went down to 58,986. So it tested that. So a great opportunity. And, I want to start off in the Crypto Bro Show talking, obviously, a little bit about Bitcoin, because right now you've got a dip going on in Bitcoin. And one of the things that when you look at the overall big picture, Sean, if you can pull up the last chart that I sent you on that singular email, and you could drive yourself crazy looking at the daily, the weekly, and even the monthly movement of Bitcoin at times, because you're going to have peaks and valleys that last a day, days, weeks, sometimes months, sometimes even a year. Okay, it'll happen. And when you're in the complete crypto winter after the bull run, you go into, I don't think Bitcoin will ever do that, but the altcoins will go into a crypto winter that could last a year or two. You know what I mean? But with Bitcoin, you have to look at it over time, over a 4-year, 8-year, 12-year, 10-year period. And this is what you need to see. Returns over the last 10 years, right there. Look at that graph right there. Look where Bitcoin stands over the last 10 years. 569,772. That's the plus that you're at. Tesla's second. Look at all the other stuff. Google, Apple, doesn't matter what it is, dude. Amazon, nothing. Any of the big 7, gold, you name it, all of that. Returns in the past 10 years. Because you have to hold it through time. And then through time is where you build the wealth. You don't build the wealth in the first couple of months. That's the lottery that you sign and then you hit. Or maybe sometimes you hit on a meme coin and it goes to, Kingdom Come, and you're able to sell and get the hell out right away. This is a permanent thing. This is something that is going to go up perpetually over time. And there's a finite amount of it. And as I keep telling you, once this pump starts, these numbers, 50s and 60s, and I believe even the 70s, you'll never see these numbers ever again. Once we start getting into the 90s and into the hundreds and all that stuff, you'll never, ever see those numbers ever again. Because financial institutions, whales, corporations, cities, states, countries, they're amassing this asset. And sadly, a lot of the people that don't understand it are selling it right now, which is beautiful. I love it. And when I saw this dip, I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it like a buying opportunity. And that's what I did. When it hit 58.9, I said, you know what, let me take a little dip here in the pool. And I took a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. Got a color TV so I can see the next play basketball. And I had to take the dip. And I did. And I'm going to take advantage of it. And I would, I'm not a financial advisor, as it says there. Okay. You need financial advice, go seek a professional. But this sports talk show host, from everything I see going on, and I'm going to show you what's going on. Okay. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on in the world of crypto. First of all, let's start off with the first graph with JP Morgan. Remember, as I've pointed out with JP Morgan, and Sean knows because he hears the show every day. And I tell you all the time with JP Morgan that they tell you Bitcoin's bad, and Jamie Dimon, that piece of shit, he called Bitcoin a pet rock. This is the guy that got fined $30 million or 30 billion. No, 30 million, I think it was, for manipulating silver. This is the guy that constantly lies. Look at that graph there that says of JP Morgan. Are they into crypto trading and custody? Yes. Private crypto funds? Yeah, they got the green dot. Crypto ETFs? Yeah, in fact, they're one of the main investors on BlackRock's ETF. Crypto-enabled payments? Yeah. Tokenization? Yeah. So let me ask you, Sean, do you see anybody with green dots all the way across? And we're talking CME, we're talking Deutsche Bank, we're talking Fidelity, we're talking Goldman Sachs, we're talking HSBC, we're talking the big boys of the big boys of the big boys. These are only heavy hitters on this list. And that guy, all he did was lie, 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 and lie again. And he tells you not to do it, but don't go by what they say. You go by what they do. JP Morgan Chase is all over crypto. I'm the one that told you for a couple years when he kept bitching about Bitcoin, I'm telling you his European arm is buying Bitcoin. They're just not doing it here in the United States. They're amassing it over there in Europe. It doesn't matter where you do it. It's worldwide. You just put it in your crypto, in your custodial wallet, and you can go anywhere in the world. Carry it anywhere. You can move hundreds, millions, and billions of dollars just with some numbers, just with some letters in your head. That's it. It's amazing. 12 words in your head, and you will walk anywhere. You don't need a wallet or anything. You don't need a safe. You don't need anything. 12 words. That's it. Nobody can touch it. I mean, that kind of stuff you can't beat. And so that's why I show you this, because I got to show you the proof. Now, the U.S. debt. Okay. I want to show you this because the U.S. debt is right now at $35 trillion. And again, I don't care who wins. Okay. Democrats or Republicans, it doesn't matter to me. It's a debt-ridden society. I'm going to prove it to you how you're going to have no choice anyway. It doesn't matter who wins. Bitcoin's the one that's going to win. Okay. They can try to slow it down. They can try to do whatever they want. There's our deficit. And this hasn't been updated yet because the year hasn't finished and we're over 35 trillion. This is how our debt is growing. It doesn't grow gradually. It is growing hypersonic, bro. Hyperbolic. It is growing parabolic. Okay? I mean, you want a stock. It's running like a meme coin. Now, check this out. Next one. Check out Schwab Investors. Okay. And this is amazing because Schwab Investors, it says almost half of Schwab respondents said that they plan to invest in crypto ETFs more than bonds, international, alts, and this is amazing stuff. The Schwab one. No, that's not it. That one's coming. Let me see. Keep going. I think it's go back up again. Might be the top one. Let me see. Go back up again. Oh, that's it. Okay, go down. I think it's no, the next one. That one. There you go. Yeah, that's the graph right there. So this one you look at, and it shows you, man, what Schwab investors are going to end up doing. Look at that. Asset classes, ETFs, investors plan to invest in. U.S. equities. Look at where cryptocurrencies are at right now. It's already skipping bonds and fixed income. And it'll eventually become over U.S. equities. So this is why Schwab customers, and again, this is all USB, all the wirehouses are all going to do this. And they're all going to add Bitcoin ETFs. And when they do, it's going to get crazy. Now, go back to the graph that shows you with the inflation and I just showed you our what's it called? Our deficit at 35 trillion. Here's a graph that shows you where it's at and where it's going, and where it doesn't matter if Harris gets in or if Trump gets in, whatever you believe in and all that kind of stuff. I'm just telling you where our money is going. Doesn't matter either one. Look where it's at now. We're at 35 trillion. Look where that graph is going. It's going over 90 trillion in the next 10 years. In the next 10 years. Remember, I told you that we'll be over. It'll be 35 trillion by the end of the year, easy, maybe even close to 36. Whoever you vote in next will have to print 10 trillion more to devalue the money in order to pay for everything. That's why these idiots that overreact about FEMA and all that, FEMA will never run out of money. They'll just go to the printer. Of course, that's why they can say that they have the money and that they'll cover and they'll have it. And when Trump was in office, they raised the debt ceiling 4 times. They all do it, dude. It doesn't matter which one's in office. They did it 3 times under Biden, 4 times under Trump. They raise it. And so if they need more money and then we're going to shut down the government. No, you're not going to shut down the government because everything it would be catastrophic. You're going to keep the government open. You're going to bitch and complain, and then you're going to end up printing more money. It's what they do. They have no choice. There is no other way. And that's why I keep warning you where our money is going and how it's going to be devalued. You think inflation's worse in many other countries, way worse than what we have. But it's going to be like other countries soon. It just doesn't matter who's in office because they have no choice. And they're going to print and print and print and print and print. Our last 2 presidents have printed like no presidents have ever printed before. I'm dying to find out if Biden broke Trump's record, because Trump owns the record of 8 trillion. I'm dying to find out the final numbers here once they kick the old man out to see if he finally, because it's going to be either 7 or he'll match Trump's 8 trillion or it'll go to 9 trillion. But it'll be close. It'll be right there. It'll be either or, whatever. And then the next president will print like 10 trillion. That's just the way it is. And this graph shows you where we're going, where our money's going. That's where your inflation comes from. Besides, corporations don't want to lower their prices either. But that just kind of tells you, okay? The other thing, let me give you a couple of notes also going on. The core inflation rose to 3.3%. It's the first increase since March. 258,000 people, by the way, filed for unemployment this week, above the expectations of 230. So this is, remember what I told you before when they made a 50-point rate cut and then employment numbers were strong. That employment numbers being strong is not good because then the rate cuts aren't coming. But if inflation it still holds up and goes up, or jobs are still holding strong, you might get a quarter-point cut. And if the inflation starts to go up, they may not even make a cut. But for those people thinking that there's a half-point coming, a half-point cut in November, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I believe you either get a quarter or you get nothing. And they're like, oh, man, we're going to have to keep tightening this thing. That's why Bitcoin is going to be fed one way or the other, because there's going to be a financial collapse. It's coming. It's just how long can they put it off and fool most of us that it's not happening? Remember how they lied to you about recession and they told you it's transitory and all that? Yellen lied about that and all that, and it's not. And they don't want to tell you, but we've been in a recession for over a year, but they won't tell you that. The entire world has been in a recession forever. It's a bad thing, man. How about this? SEC Commissioner Mark Udea says their crypto policies have been a disaster for the whole industry. Our agenda is directed by Gensler. I think our policies and our approach over the last several years have been just really a disaster for the whole industry. Finally, somebody in the SEC, because they know Gary's going to get fired, so they know them, and they know that whoever takes over is firing Gensler. Harris is not going to have him if she stays. Trump definitely is firing him. So he's gone. So now they're finally being honest because, of course, Gensler is under Yellen and that bitch Warren, piece of crap, and Biden. God, I hope John Deaton beats the crap out of Warren in November. You people in Massachusetts. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, really? How stupid can you be? Anyway, let's see, what else do we have? Nearly half, by the way, of the traditional hedge funds, 47%, now invest in crypto. Okay? That's up 29% from last year. That's because we're getting closer and closer to what? Regulations. And they know it. Because once we get the new president, the regulations are coming in with both presidents. Either one, they're going to have immediate crypto regulations. Trump's, not that Trump knows anything, but the Republicans already have it in place. It's just they can't move it forward because the Democrats have kind of killed it. Not kind of, have killed it for now. Toothpaste out of the tube. South Korea is now considering allowing institutions to buy Bitcoin and crypto. So that's going to happen. This is huge. OKX, which is a crypto exchange, an international crypto exchange, it has secured full UAE license, unlocking trading services for retail and institutional investors. So now, remember, the Arab nations really haven't gotten yet into this crypto thing. And when that money starts to get into it, not a financial advisor, I'm just telling you what's coming. And when it happens, and when Bitcoin is in several 100,000 and you're like, damn, I should have listened to O. But hey, somebody else, Steve Hanke is somebody I follow, and you should, if you're an investor, you should follow Hanke, because he was in Reagan's White House, by the way. He's a professor of economics at Johns Hopkins. So, he's kind of smart, just a little bit, just a tad. So he put up a graph of the top 10 countries with inflation. And check it out, Zimbabwe. Look at this. The annual measured inflation rate as of October 4, 2024, 1,266% increase of inflation in Zimbabwe. I think your dollar is going to go pretty far there. Sudan, well, they got some issues there. 345%. South Sudan, 327%. Nigeria, they've been going through hell, 122%. And then and so forth. And look, Argentina is still there at 53%. Egypt, 43. Ghana, 39. Libya, 31. Liberia, 28. We talk about 4% here. Talk about 3% here. And that's because their money is going crazy. Okay? So I'm just kind of, again, it's not, nothing in the world is perfect, but there's a lot of imperfect going on, and it's how they handle our money in Zimbabwe or in the United States. We're just behind them, but we're headed in the same direction because we all do the same stupid things. Look at Germany's government. They have gone completely to shit. I mean, when Volkswagen has to fire 30,000 people in Germany, they're not firing 30,000 from a plant in Australia or the United States. No. The Volkswagen plant's in Germany. So just giving you the skinny, and Bitcoin right now enjoying a nice sweet bottom of 59 right now, right? We still at 59, 59.6. Look at, if you bought the 58.986 or got it at 59 even already, it's already at 59.692. And every time people have dumped, others have bought. By the way, R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall, a proud sponsor of the Crypto Bro Show. Complete full. And listen, when Bitcoin blows up and you're saying, honey, you want to remodel the house? Let's go. Let's call R&M Contractors. Yeah, man. Ray and Mike, I could talk some Bitcoin with Ray while everybody else is fixing the home. Complete remodel, kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing, your terrace, balcony, so important nowadays, especially if you own a condo. Impact windows, door installation. Lord knows with all the storms we're getting hit by, we need that. And by the way, the other thing about impact windows, if you own dogs, it's less noise for them, less barking for you, because sometimes the outside noise gets them going. I know, because I have 4 dogs. You have impact windows, there's less noise they hear me. You know what I'm saying? As sensitive as it is, just calls out less. I'm just telling you. Floor restoration, maintenance, stucco repairs. When they do drywall, they've got level 5 finish. They take it to another level, 305-345-3649. So when your Bitcoin bags blow up and you want to improve the home, you call R&M Contractors, 305-349-3649. Hour number 2 is next.
The Crypto Bro Show is brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. From complete makeovers for homes or condos to impact windows and doors to drywall with level 5 finish. Call Ray or Mike at RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their exceptional work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Crypto Bros.
Follow Big O for more crypto insight on X or Twitter at Big O Show. When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, Great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Friday, yes, sir. Welcome back. Jimmy, I'm glad you asked because I can tell you really are not an investor. You're a bettor. So it's interesting. Hour number 2 here, Jimmy Zurich says to me, it seems from my experience, you need a lot of money to even make any with crypto. Do you know math at all, Jimmy? So let's say you put in $50 a month, okay? $100 a month. Let's say you bought at 17,000 Bitcoin at $100 a month. Aren't you making money right now? Like a lot of money? So if you bought it at 100 at 17, and then the next month it was at 17.3, and you bought it again, and then the next month it was at 18.5, and you bought it again, and you bought it again, and you bought it again, and you bought it again every month. You're in your 60s now. Don't you think you're making like a lot of money at this point? But the problem is, Jimmy, see, where I know that you're not really an investor, you didn't take the time. So you bought it for a little bit and you had a plateau and you lost patience and you got out. And you probably lost money because you panicked and sold it on a dip. See what I'm saying? But I have my Avalanche averaged at $10. Where's it at right now? And it's been stuck in the 20s. It got all the way up to 40 or $50. Did I sell, Jimmy? No. I'm an investor, long term. I know it's going to go well over 100, but I'm not going to panic, Jimmy, like you. I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to say I have my Avalanche. It's at $25.50. I lowered my average to $10. Am I not making money? Yeah. I can sell 2.5 right now. Do I? No. Did I sell it when it was at $45, $50? I think it was. Where was it? A year ago. 58.48, my brother. And I had it at 10. I could have sold it at 58.48, and I didn't. Because yo tengo cojones. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm invested. I know what Avalanche is. I know that they have Amazon and so many other companies that are tied to Avalanche. and they're building it right now. They're going to explode, I believe, to several $100s. They have so much gaming involved. But why would I do that? And this is why I explained that this is a thing you need patience with. Jimmy, you're the typical, oh, I want to make a quick buck, but I don't want to work for it. I don't want to study. I don't want to take the time to learn about it. Because if you actually took the time to learn about Bitcoin, you don't make it overnight. It's over time. I just explained it. I just gave you a graph over 10 years. What happens with Bitcoin? Did you hold it for 10 years? Did you even hold it for 10 months? Probably not. So when you say you need a lot of money, no, you don't, bro. That shows you that you really are not an investor, my man. You know what I'm saying? So I tell you all the time about this. When you don't know something, you're better off not really commenting on it, because then it really kind of burns you, you know? So it's not a matter of having money. It's a matter of having patience. You can have a little money and make money. You can have a lot of money and make a lot of money, but you're going to have patience, and you're going to have to sit through it. Jasmine hit 4 cents. I got it. My average is at a third of a penny. A third of a penny. Okay? Think about that. That's 12x. I didn't sell. Didn't sell. I know it sounds crazy, right? I didn't sell at 12x. Why? Because I think it's going to go to 25, 40 cents. So why am I going to do that now? I'm going to wait. I'm going to patiently wait. I'm going to get back. Okay, that's fine. And if it drops to my average or close to it, Jimmy, you know what an investor does? He buys again. And he lowers his average or accumulates more on a dip. That's what an investor does. They don't panic and sell. Investors are long-term. Gamblers are the people like you that really don't invest. You want it and you want instant returns. And when you don't get it, you complain about it. And you complain because you're misinformed. You're uneducated. And that's why you did what you did and you failed. There you go. You can have 3 dogs. I have 4. I have a wife. We have multiple cars. There's no excuses, bro. No excuses. You weren't saying that. You said that your initial thing is, my brother, is it seems like it takes a lot of money to make money. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You can put, the beauty of Bitcoin is you can put $5. $5 at 17,000 and $5 at 18,000 and $5 at 20,000 and $5 at 21 and $5, and it'll multiply. And it'll multiply. And you just keep putting the $5 instead of the latte at Starbucks. Make that Bitcoin, and that shit'll multiply like rabbits. But you got it. It's over time. You wanted the quick fix. I run into that all the time with my friends and all that, and they're not studying. They don't invest and all that. Because if you're really invested in it, because you have a family, because you have dogs, you would have stuck with it. Any family man, once they understand Bitcoin, they understand that their family is going to be in a better place. So this is the sacrifice I need to make. Because the guys that I know that are also / family men and invest in Bitcoin, I see it from them because it's the same thing I'm doing. It's not about me, the Bitcoin. It's for my daughter. Set her ass up. Not me. My life's done already, dude. I mean, I'm on the back end. I'm all right. I'm good. She's got a whole life to live. So set her up. Again, long-term view. That's what it is. And it's a matter of education and understanding and all that. And quite frankly, my friend, I can tell you don't really have an understanding of it. I get it. I'm not saying you're wrong. Well, I know I'm not wrong. I know you're wrong. I'm not wrong. This is the one market where you don't need a lot of money. I know, RSL. I know, my brother. You know. I give you Ondo at 22 cents, and it went up to over $1. It's like at 80 now. You're already Forexing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's going to go to several dollars, but you got to wait. You got to have patience and stay. You know, we gave you SHIB, and it went 21x, and then I sold because that's a meme coin. You know, sometimes you can make money with a little money, and RSL is 1,000% right. But if you put a little bit all the time, it'll grow. If you invest in the right company, of course, or Bitcoin, it'll grow. Kupo Beer, hoping Big O and everyone else is safe from the hurricane. Thinking of all of you from Nashville. Thank you, Kupo. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you very much. Oh, by the way, did you see Paul Goodlow from the Weather Channel? He took a shot at the Falcons. I don't want to play it because then they'll tag us because YouTube tags us for everything. Speaking of YouTube that steals our money, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation or any kind of donation to the show. Help us survive. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can send your questions, comments, insults, compliments there. Also at Cash App or Venmo, you can use those QR codes to do it, of course. And, of course, you can send in a super chat. But we always try to tell you to go to Cash App or Venmo because we get 100% of the donation. YouTube takes 30% of our donations. Okay? Like they don't have enough. So Paul Goodlow was comparing the situation when the eye passes and then the back end of the storm is coming. It's like, like those Atlanta Falcons. They still had the second half to deal with in that Super Bowl, and we all know what happened. And, bro, the Falcon Nation lost it. Why are we getting trapped? Well, because you're a bunch of chokers. And guess what, dude? That goes with the territory. That's how it goes. The Marlins are cheap. That's it. The Dolphins, they do nothing. This is what we've been known for. We used to be known for being a great franchise, but now the Heat, they win, Heat culture, toughness. The Panthers are now known as one of the best hockey teams in the world and the best in the NHL last year. Reputations come with it. What do you know Mark Sanchez for? Butt fumble. Whether he likes it or not, he is the butt fumble guy. So, Falcons fans, you are the choking birds. Sorry. Low down dirty. I could call Ball Skaggs for you if you want. I'm just saying. Most of you didn't even catch that one. Anyway, so, I was laughing at the Falcon Nation. Reputations go with it. This is your reputations. Live with it. Too bad. But the Falcon fans are all, well, why do they got to trash it? Because you're a bunch of chokers. Because your stupid-ass coach chose not to run the ball in the second half with a 25-point lead. Yeah, that's why. And you'll always be picked on that. 420, folks. Spark it up. Spark it up. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Thank you, Ocala Joe. Appreciate you. Thank you. Orlando, admitted you are Satoshi. God, I wish. He's got 1 million. He's got 1 million Bitcoin. Like he created it and then he got a wallet with $1 million. So really, if you think about it, by the way, Ocalajo, now you brought that up. Let's also think about this. 21 million Bitcoin have been created, or 21 million Bitcoin will be mined, because we're down to like 1.6 million Bitcoin left to be mined over the next 40 years. Okay. So that last bunch of Bitcoin will be mined. Most of it has been mined. Okay. So now let's think about this. 1.6 million is still left to be mined. Satoshi owns 1 million. Okay. And they've lost nearly 4 million Bitcoin already. People have lost it in computers and forgot their seed words, whatever it is. So think about that. Satoshi probably will never sell his Bitcoin. You'll never recover the nearly 4 million that are lost. That's 5 right there. And you still have 1.6 to mine. That's 6.6 out of the 21. So really, there's not a lot of Bitcoin. And once it runs out and they finish, and we get to a couple more years down the line, a couple more cycles where they're not mining a lot, the price is going to be just crazy. Absolutely nuts. I don't think people realize that, because they just throw 21 million. Oh, there's 21 million. No, there's really not 21 million. It's really not 21 million, because Satoshi doesn't seem like the kind of guy that needs it, because he's never touched it, and you'll never find the unrecovered ones. So, and then you got left the ones to be mined, and guess who's fighting for those? And guess who's going to end up buying those, Ocalajo? Mostly institutions and corporations and countries and states and cities that are going to add it to their reserves. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. The FOMO hasn't started yet. The world going, oh my God, and they realize it, and they all realize where the pound and where the ruble and where the dollar and where this and that is going and all that. It just hasn't hit them yet. It has not hit them. Bitcoiners, they figured it out already. They figured it out, and they're like, oh shit, let me get more on before everybody else finds out about this. Because then when they do, it's going to be so expensive, and you're going to be buying slivers of it at a really high rate, you know? And meanwhile, everybody else that has been getting, and that's why I've told you guys, those of us that are normal human beings, man, if you can kill yourself to get to 20-25% of a Bitcoin, you are God. You don't even need a whole Bitcoin. But if you can get to 20-25% of a Bitcoin, 7-10 years from now, you're going to go, holy shit, I didn't know there was going to be this much money. Yeah. So it's interesting. And thank you, sir, for the Cash App. Thank you. As always, we get 100% there, so very kind. Big O, I have trained myself to not look at any short-term data on my market investments, as it would keep me awake at nights. Far too much volatility in the short term. Markets always increase long term. Exactly. And if you look at it short term, you have to look at it like I do, because I look at it every day several times. I look at it for my investment purposes. That's what I do, Brett. Okay, like I saw, oh, you're going to hit 59? My face lit up. I'm buying. That's what I look for, Brett. Okay. Polis is down around 15 cents. Give me more. You know, that kind of shit. Oh, Neutron? Oh, you're staying in the 30-cent range? Give me more. That's how I look at the volatility. I look at it as opportunity. So I go looking for volatility that I want volatility, and I want it to be there, because that's what's going to give me more profits in the long term. Whereas, Brett, you and I, while we're looking at it that way, the average person looks at the volatility like it's the end of the world and I've got to get out now and take my losses. Instead, no, dude, did you study? Do you believe in that company? It's going to bounce back. And when it does, you're going to regret that you sold at its low point. So I use volatility every day as motivation to better my portfolio, is the way I look at it. I look at volatility as opportunity. I don't look at it as negativity or desperation. It's not the way it goes. I told you, gave you an example just for the hell of it right now. Here we go. Just for the hell of it. Okay, here we go. My bad. Because this will give you kind of an idea of why I did what I did. You know who AWS is? Sean? Huh? Ava Labs, you know anything about that? AWS? Well, AWS is a huge data company, right? And they're one of the people that have teamed up with Avalanche. Okay? So when I look at some of the and they're used by all over. It's not just Amazon, it's all kinds of companies that have partnered with Avalanche. And so when I look at it, I say, okay, well, wait a minute. All right, there's a dip. What do I do? Do I take advantage here? Is it low enough for me to add more Avalanche or anything that I am, investing in? And so when I see Ava Labs and I look at Avalanche and the way they're growing, I have to take advantage of this. I have to be, as an investor, say, okay, this is a blockchain that is now in its infancy stages, just like many other blockchains are in their infancy stages, and they're in the middle of building their entire ecosystem. Okay, so who does that ecosystem entail? Who's in that ecosystem? Who are the companies that are tied to Avalanche? And then I find out, like I told you with Polygon or any other company that I try to invest in. And you have to be able to deal with the volatility. But the volatility has to be used as an opportunity, because if you believe in the company, it's going to have its ups and downs, and especially in its early stages. So in its early stages are going to be the best moments where you're going to be able to take advantage of that stock or coin, because what a lot of people don't realize is that the crypto market is the stock market. It's just digital. That's all. That's all it is. It's just, okay. By the way, Steve is in Vegas. He didn't tell me. Yeah, but I forgot that he was in Vegas, because I checked in on him like, hey, are you all right and everything with the storm 2 days ago, yesterday? And he says, no, everything's all right. And I guess he was just telling me that everything was all right at the house when his wife and I, but I'm in Vegas having a blast. I didn't know he was in Vegas having a blast. That is awesome. Kupo says, are we still doing 40% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum? Yes, I tell that to initial investors to make it easy for them, that if you want to create a portfolio, 40% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, and then 10 for altcoins, because altcoins are the higher risk. Now they could bring you bigger returns in money and profits, but Bitcoin and Ethereum for me are set in stone. They're the Microsoft, they're the Tesla, they're the Amazon. You want your money safe. So I'd rather 70% of your portfolio be on the safe trail and keep putting in there. And then 10, you want to gamble with some of the other ones, you go ahead. That's what I do. My 10% goes to Avalanche and Polygon and whatever it is, Atlas and Neutron or whatever that I have like 20 other coins that I'm invested in. And so that's where the 10% go. They go into those. But my major money is going to go into Bitcoin for sure, and Ethereum. And Solana. Solana's been one that I have also, I probably would say, now at least for me personally in my portfolio, I would probably say Solana is somewhere in the 10% range now of my portfolio. Yeah. Yeah. But, it's just one of those deals. The problem is people only invest when they hear about a crypto getting big. You need to find a lower one, educate yourself about it, and invest with patience, like Big O says. Exactly. And Tony's 1,000% right. Everybody FOMOs in after it blew up. It's up 2,000%. Oh, but do you think it'll go up more? Yeah, but it's not going to go up 2,000 more percent. And then they're disappointed. It's because people want they want easy street. And Tony knows it. They want easy street. They don't want to study. They don't want to have patience. They don't want to wait. And that's what you're going to have to do. You have to wait. So, yeah. Big O, I hear you on volatility, and that's why we believe in DCA so much. Common sense for the win. Exactly. Jimmy says, okay, but what I see is the money we put in just a sliver now. What we're getting back, even for our kids, will be chunks. Jimmy, if you bought $1,000 at 17,000, okay, right now it's over $3,000 and approaching $4,000. And that $1,000, just that one investment at 17,000, just that one investment. Okay? So let's just have some fun. I'm gonna do some quick math for you here, because since you don't have patience, right? So if you go 17,000 and you divide it by 1,000,000, because Bitcoin will hit 1,000,000. Okay, that goes 17 times. What do you think you have for the 1,000? It turns into 17,000. It's not too bad, bro. 1,000 into 17,000? I'm sorry. What other investment does that with? You can do that with gold? You're not going to do that with Amazon. You're not moving 1,000 to 17x. It's not going to happen. That's just $1,000 turns into 17. 10 turns into 170. 100 turns into 1.7 million. I'm not exactly sure what's going to give you those returns, Jimmy. You know what's going to give you? Patience. You wait. So if you're able to put in $1,000 when it hit 16.5 to 18,000, 19,000, you're able to put $1,000 within that time. When it hits 1,000,000, and 2030, a lot of people think it'll be 1,000,000. Probably be more. Is that really that long a wait? 6 years? No investment turns around like that. And that's only $1,000. Turns into 17. Anyway, that's just kind of the way it goes. But you got to have patience. You got to have education. Education is the thing that failed you, Jimmy. If you would have had the education, there is no way you would have bailed out. There's no way. Because if you watch what they're doing with our money, it just motivates you even more. That's the silly part. The more you see what they're doing, the more you want to like, oh yeah, I need to buy more Bitcoin. I can't have. I have any extra cash. I'm making it Bitcoin. I am not. No way. My money's getting devalued. I told you guys, if you had 1 million last year, your buying power is 640,000 a year later. A year ago, $1 million now buys you $640,000. That's a year ago. That million is 2.2 million, Jimmy. Even with the dip that we've had for 6 months, because Bitcoin's up 120% since last year. Still. So if you put 1 million a year ago, you have 2.2 million. Again, Jimmy, I don't know what grows like that. Weeds. That's about it. Only thing that grows faster is weeds or some people's back hair. I'm not sure. Mine got lasered, so it's not too bad anymore. Best thing I ever did, laser my back. Holy crap. All right, let's get to some music and entertainment. Why don't we? Let's switch gears here and do a little music and entertainment news, since we love doing that too. All right, let's go with birthdays today with musicians. Maya, U.S. singer. Marie Harrison, born in 1979 on this date. Also, Mike Malinin, guitarist and vocalist for the Goo Goo Dolls, born in 1967. Johnny Mayall, guitarist with the English rock band Republica. Ready to go. That song that is like in every arena and football stadium. That Ready to Go song is like everywhere. It is a great song. It is a great sports song, right? The Ready to Go with the guitar and all that. It's a great song for sports. So I got a Martin Kemp from Spandau Ballet, born on this date in 1961. Let's see. This much is true. I can tell you for a fact. Tanya Tucker, country singer, born in 1955 on this date. David Lee Roth from Van Halen, born on this date in 1954. Midge Ure, Scottish singer, songwriter, yes, sir, for Visage and Ultravox. Vienna. I love that song, Vienna. It's a great song. Let's see who else. Cyril Neville from the Neville Brothers, vocalist and percussionist. Stud. Alan Cartwright, born on this date in 1945, bassist for Procol Harum. Jerry LaCroix, by the way, I almost skipped him, also born in 1945, musician with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Those are musicians born on this date. Let's go with other famous folk born on this date. Mario Lopez is 51 years old. Who else? Brett Favre, 55. They have a picture of his face. Why don't they have a picture of his penis? That's what he likes to share. Let's see who else. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 50 today. Wow, Junior's 50. Junior's 50. That sucks. Geno Smith, Edison, 34 years old today. Dan Stevens, actor, is 42. Da Vinci, TV actor, 29. Soulja Boy. It says reality star, 36. Isn't he a rapper with that one song? Does he have a reality show or something? I don't know. I don't keep up with. All I know from Soulja Boy is that one song. Maybe he has another one. I'm not sure. I don't know. Terrible politician, Gavin Newsom. God, he's horrible. 57 today. Who else? Rose McIver, TV actress, 36. Lizzie Hale. Wow, she wasn't on that list. Goddess. She is 41. I love her. I love Hailstorm. Martin Kemp, actor, is 63. And that is your list of folks celebrating birthdays. Sean Stanley, do we have any wrestlers?
Yes, we do. Aaliyah James turns 26. Ashley D'Amboise turns 34. Giant Haystacks was born on this date in 1946. Sadly, we lost him in 1998. I'm going to butcher Ilja Dragunov. He turns 31. Jay White is 32. Jesse Camilla is 36. Mance Warner, he also turns 36. And part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Fulham, and, of course, Frankie Fresco's favorite, AEW, Tony Khan, TK. He turns 42 today. Those are your birthdays for October 10th, 2024.
I read a story about an AEW pillar that has been there forever, and he had like some surgery that they screwed up the surgery, and he's had some setbacks or something. I just read it today. I forgot the guy's name. The poor guy, bro.
I got to check that one out. I know Omega had some stomach issues or something, and then he got surgery because he almost passed out in the ring, and he hasn't been back since. So I don't know if that's the one. I'll have to look and check it out and see which story that is.
Let me see if I find it here, if I can find it from one of the sites that I go to. And I saw it and I read the story, and it was like you feel bad because he wants to return, but he can't return. And he's like a veteran of AEW. He's like a guy that everybody knows in AEW or some shit like that. And again, I'm not educated enough to carry a conversation or really know about this stuff to the point that I can talk about it by memory and stuff like that. But yeah, I read the story and I felt terrible for the man because obviously they effed up his surgery, and that's why he's in this situation. It's an older guy from AEW.
That might be something different. I know Kenny Omega did surgery for diverticulitis. They removed about 25 centimeters of his colon.
Wow. Damn.
But I don't see anywhere here that that's causing anything as far as that's why I don't know.
No, it's somebody. It's somebody else. I gotta see if I can find it. But yeah, I read the story and it was kind of heartbreaking. Poor guy, man. All right, let's get to a little music history because we always like to find out what happened today in music history. Thursday, October 10th in music history. We start off in 1978. Aerosmith's Steve Tyler and Joe Perry were injured after a cherry bomb was thrown on stage during a show in Philadelphia. For the rest of the tour, the group performed behind a safety fence. In 1902, the Gibson Mandolin Guitar Company was formed. 34 years later, they would produce their first electric guitar. In 78, Steve Perry joined Journey as their new lead singer. In 2006, on this date, Sting released Songs from the Labyrinth, an album of the 16th century lute songs. Let's see, 2004, 12 years to the day of their album Automatic for the Peoples. It topped the charts in the UK. REM were again at number one in Britain with their record Around the Sun. The effort only made it to the 13th spot here in the States. Yeah, it wasn't that good of an album, that's why. In 2001, U2 kicked off their third leg of the Elevation Tour in South Bend, Indiana, inviting the world to watch the gig free through a webcast on their website. In 2009, Pearl Jam had their fourth number one album with their ninth effort, Backspacer, and it topped the charts. That's what happened today in Musica history. Bitcoin, by the way, at 664 now, down 2.2%. Don't panic. It's not a big thing. It's not a big thing, man. Okay? Don't panic. Take it easy. Take it easy. Okay? I go on the streets. I move a couple of things here or there for you. We're okay. It's all right. Let's see. Rosendo, happy birthday to Helen Hayes, great actress and EGOT winner. One of the few silent actresses to transition successfully in sound. She won an Oscar for the 1970 film Airport. Oh, I remember Airport. Yeah, bro. Airport. That was a classic. George Kennedy Airport. There's a whole bunch of people on Airport. That first Airport had a slew of actors, bro. It was like the Towering Inferno. You know, Paul Newman and company, and they put a bunch of actors in that one too. Was George C. Scott in that one also? It seemed like in those days, George C. Scott, like, it's a devastating movie. Let's just put George C. Scott in it. It's a boat that has a ghost on it. Let's put George C. Scott on it. I don't know, it just seemed like he was like all over the place. Like every time there was like something terrible, let's add him. He's ready to go. He's the man. He's the man for all kinds of disasters. Dean Martin, yes, he was there. Yeah, he was there. Yeah, he had a drink in his hand, too. Dean was there. Those things don't, by the way, they don't translate. They just, it just doesn't, it doesn't change with the times. You watch the Towering Inferno now, or you watch Airplane, or Airport, I'm sorry. And you can watch Airport 75 and Airport 77. And what is it? Airport Concorde, right? Is that the last one? The fourth one was like the Concorde or something? It does. It's cheesy to the max. Okay? It's just cheesy. You know. It's like the Poseidon Adventure. It just becomes really cheesy. You know. And you sit there and you go, man, when I was a kid, I really thought the fat woman could have made it. You know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's just now. Just doesn't fly. It doesn't fly. That's all I can tell you. Just to warn you ahead of time. You know, just in case if you're looking forward to, you know, hey, I got to get me some Airport in my system, or Towering Inferno or Poseidon Adventure. Don't. It won't hold up. It won't be good for you. Actually, it wasn't George C. Scott. It was Burt Lancaster. Okay. All right. And which one? Because George C. Scott was in Airport. Wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was in Airport, wasn't he? It's like they used him for everything. They used him for all kinds of disaster movies, right? That's how I kind of remember him. Or is it George Kennedy? No, it's George Kennedy. That's what it is. Not C. Scott. George Kennedy is the big fat guy that they use for all those things. That's what it is. George Kennedy. George Kennedy was the one in Airport. There it is. That's why. I got it mixed. I'm getting my Georges mixed. We're all George. But yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. I'm trying to look at his IMDb, because he did the Airport series. And he was in Naked Gun, by the way. Now we're talking. Okay. That is, but I thought he did some other like movies that were besides Airport. Cool Hand Luke, yeah. Earthquake. See? He did Earthquake. He did Airport 75, then they hired him for Earthquake for Sergeant Lou Slade. You see what I'm saying? Death Ship. I told you. Didn't I say about a ship that is with a ghost? Death Ship. George Kennedy. I'm telling you that George Kennedy was the guy you would hire for disaster type movies. The world's going to end. I know it. We'll sign George Kennedy. Flight of the Phoenix. There you go. George Kennedy. I'm telling you. George Kennedy was the guy that you brought on for, you know, the Dirty Dozen. There you go. We're going to put our lives on the line. We got to bring George Kennedy here. You know what I'm saying? Shit's coming to an end. Bring George Kennedy. You know, that was the guy when I was growing up. All those movies, George Kennedy was there. Yep. That's what it is. Search and Destroy. Bring George Kennedy. Yeah, see, the Concorde, Airport 79, he was there. And so, yeah, 75 in airport. And then he did the death shit. And he did Virus. Look at that. Virus. Day of Resurrection, a Japanese post-apocalyptic science fiction film. China coming to an end. What do? Call George Kennedy. I'm telling you, it was one of those things with Kennedy. It was just that, man. Wasn't George Kennedy in The Changeling? That horror movie with the wheelchair that was like driven by the kid, the ghost, that they drowned him in the tub and all that. Wasn't it George? No, that was George C. Scott, actually. Now I got my George's. Can you look up The Changeling? Remember, there's a newer Changeling. Put The Changeling. The Changeling was a movie that was a kid that haunted a house, and then and his wheelchair would kill people or some shit like that. Yeah, it was 80. It was 80. It was definitely in the early 80s. I think it was George C. Scott, actually. This was like at the end of George C. Scott's career. It was, right? I got my Georges mixed. Again, I get my Georges mixed. I'm sorry. It's just a George thing. Only Georges would understand. See, that's at the end of George C. Scott's career where he's just like, yeah, I'll take the role. What the hell? Everybody knows it's like De Niro now. Now De Niro just does shitty movies. You know what I mean? It's not like the real, because he's old already at this point. So he's just like, you're paying me how much? Yeah, I'll do it. You know, that kind of stuff. So that was George C. Scott in The Changeling. You're paying me how much for a stupid chair that kills people? Yeah, I'll do it. What the hell? They still remember me as Patton. They don't remember me in this shit. You know, that kind of stuff. I'm sorry about all of this, because unless you're a certain age, there's no way you find the humor in it. There's no way you find anything interesting or connecting or anything like that. So I apologize to those of you under 40, because you probably have no idea what we're talking about. Oh, man. Anyway, with that said, I want to thank the Brunetti family, of course. I want to thank Steve Calabro and all the great people here at Hialeah Park. Thanks to all of you for tuning in, as always, and supporting the hell out of us. We really appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow morning. We're going to be at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines at 10 a.m. We'll be rocking and rolling and having some fun. Appreciate all of you out there. Thanks to Sean Stanley, as always, making it happen and mastering this entire platform. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.